Two, three, four.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks so much for joining me. Again, my name is Von Barron, and I'm so happy you're here. You could have been someplace else, but you're here with me, and I really appreciate it. So now, continuing diving into our world of brushes, we're going to talk today, and I'm going to show you how to play my basic swing drum pattern, brush pattern. Now, every drummer I know on the planet who plays brushes has a different way of playing swing. Everybody has their own little variation. That's one of the cool things about playing brushes, is that you really do get that opportunity to express yourself and create your sound. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you my pattern, and my hope is that you will take what I teach you and then go and create something that is uniquely yours. So the way we're going to start off, again, we're using traditional grip. Now, I'm not saying that you have to use traditional grip when you play brushes, but I am saying that it's going to be so much cooler. And I definitely want you to feel the cool. I want you to have that cool factor in your playing. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off. I'm just going to teach you the left hand first. What we want to do is imagine that our drum, now let's check out the overhead cam. We're going to imagine that our drum is basically a clock face. This is the easiest way, I think, to communicate the concept of brushes. And what you're going to do is imagine it's a clock face. So you've got your 12 o'clock here, 6 o'clock here, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And what you're going to do is you're going to imagine that you're moving your brush, okay, around that clock face, and we're going to go clockwise, okay, with our left hand. Okay? If you want, you can just start with your fingers like this if you like, just so you get a feel for it. And the idea is that you want to keep this nice, consistent sound throughout. You don't want to have it stopping, starting, stopping, starting. In the beginning, you are going to do that because your fine motor skills aren't developed to that degree. So just like when you were a child learning to grasp things with your hands, you had to learn how to pick up a Cheerio or something small. It's that kind of, we're going back to being a kid again almost and learning how to play with brushes. So just going to practice getting that sound. Now go ahead and take the brush, put it in your left hand, and let's go ahead and take it around. Now I want you to notice something. I move my arm a little bit, but what am I doing mostly by getting that sound? I'm using my fingers to kind of push it out and pull it back in, and my wrist a little bit as well. So I'm not moving my whole arm, okay? I'm really economizing on how I play. Now another thing, if your brush is up too much like this, you're going to get this sound. You're going to hear that scraping sound. You don't want that. You want a smooth sound. So you want to find that place. It's about 35, 40 degree angle of your brush where it's not going to get stuck on anything on the drum head or the texture of the coating. It's going to be nice and smooth. This is the sound you want. Okay. All right, now just practice going around. You're going to practice that for a while, so don't feel like you got to rush right into the pattern, the whole pattern, and put it together. I want you to get that smooth sound down with your left hand, especially with your left hand. You're going to want it with your right as well, okay? But you're not going to use your right as much as you're going to use your left in terms of really laying down that smooth, creamy, dreamy sound that your other brush stuff is going to go on top of. So the other thing to keep in mind is we do sometimes as drummers, obviously we're going to hit one brush and there's going to be a ring on the drum head. But most of the time, one brush is touching the head. So most of the time I've got at least one brush that's touching the drum head. So it minimizes that ring sound. Another thing you can do if you feel like your drum is too much ring to it is on the underside, you can just tape a Band-Aid. Jeff Hamilton showed me that. I thought that was a pretty good trick. You just take a Band-Aid, regular sized Band-Aid, put it on the underside of your drum head, and that dampens it just enough so that you don't need to use moon gels or anything to kind of take out that ring. The other thing that's important is tuning. So go back to the video that I taught you in the beginning where I taught you about how to tune your drum and use that technique so that you get the best sound from your drum from the beginning, from the get-go. Now, we're going to take this. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of an emphasis. Remember, we talked about how much you push on the tension you apply to the bristles gives you a little bit of an accent. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to imagine that, so 1, 2. So at about 2 o'clock, okay, over here on the clock face, we're going to push down a little bit with the brush. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now watch this. 2. I'm just kind of pushing down, just flexing that brush to get that accent. Now I'm not stopping though. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm really kind of continuing through that motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Again, I'm not moving my whole arm, just moving the wrist and the fingers. So a lot of things to think about. In the beginning, it's going to feel like, if you've ever driven a car, remember the first time I drove a car, Dad took me out to the parking lot, this huge parking lot at a university, and I had to sneeze while he was teaching me. I looked at him and I said, Dad, I have to sneeze. What am I going to do? He says, well, sneeze. You know, it's like you get used to things over time, right? Now if you drive, you know, hey, driving's no problem. You got to sneeze, right? So, okay, again, accent that brush and just move it on through. Okay, now, that's going to be our 2 and our 4, counts 2 and 4. So we're going to have 1, we're going to start over here with 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, 1 and 3 probably in this pattern are going to be more on the 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. A half hour apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the right hand is just going to do a little skip to my Lou, my darling. We're just going to do a little skipping action. Remember we talked about with the ride cymbal skipping the stone on the rocks. I mean on the skipping the stone on the water. You know, you whip a stone out there and it goes ba 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 like that. That's kind of what we're doing here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now I am moving my arm a little bit. Okay, not too much. But later on, the faster you go with this pattern, you're going to move your arm less, and you're going to really minimize where you do these tap strokes. But for now, I want to exaggerate it for you so you really get the idea of the whole thing. So I'm going to actually do my tap on about 1 o'clock. Okay, so not 2 o'clock, but 1 o'clock. I'm going to be 1. So 1. Wait, 1. Sorry, 2, 3. Can I count? 4. 1. 2, 3. So I'm skipping from 2, okay, down 4. So it's like down to 3 and then 4. 2, 3. Sorry, I'm starting at 1. So it starts on you're hitting up about 1 o'clock, then to 3 o'clock, then to 4 o'clock. 2 o'clock again, 2 and 4, counts 2 and 4. At 2 o'clock is going to be where your left hand is doing the accent on the swish. So 1, 2, 3. 4, 1. I've only done this 1,000 times. 4, more than that. 10,000 times, 100,000 times. Okay, now, hear that ring? Once I start this, that ring goes away. So now let's put them together. So we're going to do a good thing I like to do is start. I think it's always good to have like a starting place, and I always found actually it's really nice to start, you know, on where your pattern is going to be most we'll just start where one hand is in kind of usually in the same place at the same count, and the other hand is in the same place at the same count. So if I have 2 and 4 are going to be here. Let's start here. If I have 1 and 3, let's with our left hand, let's start them over here. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, what we're going to do is let's take it really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So it's cool, y'all. See, they cross over like this. And this is something that I kind of made a little variation, but it's something that actually Jeff Hamilton taught me years ago, a long time ago, when I was like 16 years old. Oh my goodness. And he was really the one responsible for lighting a fire for brushes for me. If you get a chance, check out anything that he does with anybody he plays with, and he plays brushes. He's the man. He's the dude. So, 1, 2, 3. Again, we're going for smooth. Little accent. Okay. Good to just get this pattern down, okay? And if, watch this. The faster I go now, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Now watch, see how my motion changes. I'm still covering a lot of area, but now watch. See how my brushes, they get a little smaller. The area I play on gets smaller. So now again, it's skipping thing. Just like we were doing on the ride cymbal with the stick. I don't want to hear... That's on the downbeat. That completely eliminates any swing possibility. Okay, you want to make sure you accent that 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That little slap thing, we're going to talk about that in another lesson, but I want to make sure you get this down. Okay, work on that. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, okay? I love to hear from you. And make sure you keep on drumming. Thanks so much.